Got new cleaners in town. These can either save us a job or put us out of business. So you've got a mopper, a brusher and a buffer, robotic in one. So if you get a few of these, it'll save you the job. Industrial. Like, it could put you out of work if they buy them. Contracts. New cleaners. No, I just noticed Premier Inn, Moon and the Star. That's Middle Eastern. And then over there you got Christian. I knew about that cross there. The positive to the battery. Blue wire, minus red. But let's carry on back where I am. Even these trees are religion. Got one of these in my mum's garden. At Manchester Cathedral. The emblems are on the door. The Bishop of Manchester. And the St George's flag. Again. And in most comic books, the T's will be crosses. Like Galactus means adaptus in Latin. Adaptus housing group, stealing the universe. This is why we got the eclipse. So the last eclipse was the millennium. It wasn't 1999. It was the millennium, and it was at 12 o'clock at night because everyone had to wear them glasses, and it was direct towards North Manchester way. So let's see which way the moon and the sun will cross on Wednesday, they said. I believe it's happened so quick because United Emirates in Egypt are building a water pipe in the desert to grow habitat. So with Galactus, what they've read from these comic books, which is religious, they're trying to steal the universe. They're trying to destroy half of the world so they can grow in the desert. And that's by feeding the clouds, and it changes the weather. This is what I believe, what I've studied. Put a video up a few months ago, and a lad was at his bedroom window, and I was saying, "Oh, your friends are Muslims," and he was calling me names. I just sorted it out with him, shook his hand, because he actually lives near my baby mum. I just come to the window, but vice versa. I just seen him, said, "You're going to apologise?" I just apologised, shook hands. So it takes more of a man, even though I swore blind what I was going to do. I took it back, shook hands. Too close to home, and I know his family as well. Knew him longer than him, so yeah, shook hands, left. That's going to sit with a ticket, smoking. Trying to give us 15 week this Sunday. I've quit the weed. Just come out of the gym then. But the key is you'll sweat. You'll sweat every night for a week. You'll have mad dreams, yeah? When you smoke like a 3.5 a day every day, some days more. You get insomnia from amnesia haze. And when you get insomnia, you'll stay up 24 hours. A few days later, another 24 hours can't sleep. But I've done this outdoor. And then past 2 months now, started the gym. But I've only done like 2 days, 3 days a week. Gone out Fridays and Saturdays, got pissed since I quit the weed. And I've gone up to over 10.5 stone. So the key is, you want to quit the weed, just basically get the worst weed what's going. It wasn't my choice, all the weed was shit, Thailand weed. So I had to travel to get a good weed. I thought, I'm not keep travelling. And willpower, dedication, determination, motivation. Don't take no other drugs. Don't get no medication, no help. Just do it. If you're going to do it, do it. You know what I mean? If you want to do something so bad, and you need to do it so much, then you'll do it. Anything you put your mind to, set your mind to a goal, achieve it. Greatness comes afterwards. And you give your hands, put your hands in God's hands. My hair's going blonde again. I was born with blonde hair, me. Normally I used to have a bald head till after lockdown, but still smoking nicotine cigs. So basically cut them down, but you will put loads of weight on. I put a stone on now. I dropped just under 10 stone. I went to 9 stone 2 and then 9 stone within 1 week. I was just under 10 stone. So I sweated that much, stayed up twice. I went to 9 stone 2 and then 9 stone, and within 15 weeks I've gone up to 10.5 stone. Within about 12 weeks I went up to 10.5 stone. I've not weighed myself for a week now as well. I can do that, anyone can do anything, because I was a weed head all my life from a young age until I went to prison, quit, had 2 drag rotation, shitting it because I was getting an MDT piss test, and then second time I went to prison, quit. And yeah, the weed is legalised in Britain now. You can get a medical note off your doctor. It's called glass farms, but it's all shit anyway. You know what I mean? It's a bit of Christ now. So in Latin they used to say lesos, Greek lesus, and then in the 16th century they added the J to the alphabet, and then Jesus' name became Jesus. But in Latin and Greek it was lesous and lesos until the J come into the alphabet. And then if you're Christian, they say Jehovah for God. Catholics say God, Lord, Father. So it runs deep, our bloodline. And what I learned is the Da Vinci Code. I've not watched it, but the guy who wrote it is a brown like my nano. And our name got anglicized from Lepaho, Deepaho, Paho to power. Maritime power was the English god, Brittany. And our family runs that deep to France. So what happened with Jesus, when he faced everything and rised above, he didn't die. The dark nights began. He risen. That's fear. So the Joker fears everything and runs. April Fool's the 1st of April. The 2nd, Jesus faced everything for everyone's sins, then rised above, he risen, and that's about fear, Easter. Christians say the rabbit, the Judicel, the positive wire is the blue, that's the cross, electric. The minus is the red wire. But Jesus then travelled to France, and when he travelled to France, he had a wife called Mary, and he had a kid, and he had another wife called Lydia after Mary, and the bloodline, Lepaho, Deepaho, maritime power, Brittany, Britannia. Brittany was the English god, the goddess, and our bloodline runs deep, that far. So you had Alan Wiredbay, and his granddad was the king of Brittany, Britannia. And then they come to England, the Saxons carried him on, and then Sir Bartholomew Deepaho for King Henry I, after Drago, D-R-O-G-O, Deepaho. It was Sir Bartholomew Deepaho. Then his son was called Robert Lepaho for King Henry II, and they turned England into Britain from Britannia, maritime power. And then their name got anglicized to Power, and that's my second name, Power. It runs deep, nearly 100,000 powers worldwide, and 60 to 70,000 of them are one family tree. That's how. But then the Christians basically started wiping out history from like. So in Catholic, they say God, Lord, Father. Christians say Jehovah for God's name. So there was battles and debates. So people can't get through a debate, but really they all believe in Jesus. You know what I mean? So that's where the whole of Christ needs to stick together. The rope. The story behind the rope. If none of you have seen it, well, the Parliament used to have courts in their own houses, and they used to hang people on the staircases a long time ago. So it's called ritual rope. So in the early 2000s, this was the Cardew estate. but then they joint the canals up from the Ashton Canal to the other canal this way. Now it's New Islington Harbour. 40 odd boats. I think it's 500 quid a month for the boat. And then you've got like 80 odd apartments, 60 odd apartments, 40 odd grey houses. You've got 370 odd, I think, apartments here. So it's all changed. And you've got the cooperative there. Used to be St Jude's, all here. This used to be a dye works where the pigeons used to Varley Street there and Victoria Mill. This used to be a dye works over there. The pigeons used to come out blue. We used to get in there and get our newts as kids. It's like a jungle now where the government council just left it. Basically the dye works, it's high pollution on there. That's why they've not built on there yet. It's a wasteland now, full of rubbish. But in there it's like a fucking jungle, mate. Chicken dance, entertainer. Chicken dance, go and get some chicken nuggets. Patience. Stood there all day like that. Last time I seen these here, he was just born. Size of him now. All swans owned by the royal family. Tagged. The house there used to be an old lady called Jenny. Before any of these flats was here, that was an office, a security guard's office. So Jenny's lock, we call it. She was called Jenny. And when we was kids, talking 95, 96, used to swim in here, age 7, and in the lock put CSA, they used to put scaffolding bars in it. A few of the older men, God rest one of his souls, my mate's dad and that, he was a top guy. So they used to snap the lock open, but this water would be dead low, and that water would be dead high. So all the water would just fly in, and it'd be like rapids, you know, when it's spinning round the water, and we'd all jump in. Oh, it was a buzz though. There's not like them times. Everyone got together from the Cardsroom estate, Ancoats estate, so would all come walking this way on here. Then all the older ones would get the scaffolding bars and just pierce it open, and all the water would just fly in. Then we'd just dive in like, hey, all having a buzz. Used to jump off that. I done it once. It was I was a little shitbag like that. I had more of a fucking go and do climb as a kid, thieving, thefts, little bastard, then jump off things and risk my life. My dad used to clear these, used to clear them. But my mates, yeah, used to basically would just jump off here into there. Fucking madness. Used to swim on that bit, swim in this bit, but all the seaweed would get you near the chip building here. All the seaweed would grab your legs, and if you go straight up towards the City Stadium, we used to all jump off the Iron Bridge just before the City Stadium. Oh, it was madness them days. Swimming in the canal was just like getting a bath to us. So in Hawaii, where the volcanoes just erupted and where the earthquakes just happened in Colombia, you've got plates around the sea, and it's called the Ring of Fire. And when they hit each other, boom, they cause a wave, and that's what caused the tsunami in Thailand and the floods in New Orleans, because it's direct from each other. and the earthquakes in Japan. So they called the ring of fire, the plates. So when it goes off in like Colombia, there'll be an aftermath somewhere else. So there's 135 volcanoes underneath the Antarctica. The world, what we're on today, the planet, was all lava. So it's all lava. Then comets and meteoroids come down and hit the lava, and gases come off, and more gases come off, and the meteorites caused the war with God. But the gases went up to the sky, and condensation hit the clouds, and then it rained for years, and that's when the sea actually come in. And obviously God was here, placed the seeds, but that's how it began. So with all lava, and the water just come afterwards through the condensation, through the comets and the meteorite showers, loads of comets coming out of space, doof, 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 hitting the lava, doof, doof, doof. All the condensation went up and made it rain, and the gases. So basically these plates, I said there'd be an aftermath after the Colombian earthquake, which the water could cause another tsunami in Thailand. It could flood New Orleans, Miami, Hawaii, Bahamas, and volcanoes have started erupted again. Tectonic plates, the plates they called, well, it's called the ring of fire. They're all around that bit of the world. And 400 million years ago, we got one called a ghost plate underneath Britain, but we broke off from Europe. Britain was once attached to the map. And when the lava then hit the sea, that's how the land begun. So when lava hits the water, it turns it into land. Finish off on the plates, the ring of fire. So the ring of fire is the plates what are around the sea. So when they bounce against each other, they cause earthquakes and tsunamis, like in Thailand. So the ring of plates will go around Colombia, Venezuela, Hawaii. Even it can affect New Orleans with the floods. So it's direct from each other on the map. So that's the ring of fire. It's the plates underneath the sea. So that ring of fire, the plates caused the earthquake in Colombia, the aftermath. There's just been 2 volcanoes, one in Italy, in Mount Etna, and one in Hawaii. So I was predicting that today, somewhere around them ways, that the water will flood, like New Orleans last time, or a tsunami in Thailand. But it ended up being the volcanoes erupted, because if you wobble something so much, it'll erupt. So yeah, it's called the ring of fire, the plates.